Mark is 32, and he's an elite athlete, in the discipline of running circles inside his own head. He's not sick, he has a decent job, a cat, and a functioning car. But inside Mark's head, there's a high-speed blender running at 24/7. While he's brushing his teeth, he's arguing with his boss about a project due next month. While he's eating, he's replaying a conversation with his ex from 3 years ago. This isn't life, it's a never-ending rough draft. Mark is exhausted, his neck always hurts, and he has this constant tightness in his chest. Like he left the stove on, only the stove is his entire existence. Desperate for some silence, he decides to do something radical. He drives out to see an old man he heard about on a podcast, someone who supposedly sees things as they are. The trip took 5 hours, 2 trains, a cramped bus, and a 3-mile hike uphill. As he walked, Mark's internal blender was on high. Is this a scam? What if I'm just wasting gas? What am I even going to say? Hi, my head is noisy. I sound like a child. He almost turned back. His doubts were louder than his footsteps. But then, a simple wooden gate, a modest house, and an old man in a faded sweater, focused on chopping wood. Have a seat. Just don't think too loud. You're throwing off my swing. Sorry, what do you mean? That mental blender of yours. Why did you bring it all the way up here? It's noisy enough with the birds. That's why I'm here. I can't turn it off. I'm constantly overthinking. Tomorrow, yesterday, scenarios, plans, fears. I just want it to stop. I see. And how much are you willing to pay for silence? Anything. It's becoming unbearable. All right, let's check your inventory then. What were you thinking about for the last 5 minutes while walking up that path? I was wondering if this was a waste of time. What I'd say to you. And I was thinking about an email my boss might send me on Monday. Interesting. So you brought your boss here, and your anxiety. Tell me, where were you? What do you mean, where? I was on the trail. No, your body was on the trail. You were in Monday. Did being in Monday help you solve the email problem? No, it just made me more stressed. So you're either a genius who can change the future by worrying about it, or an idiot who keeps hitting his head against a wall, hoping the wall will move. Which one are you? I'm definitely not a genius. Exactly. You spend 90% of your energy rehearsing a life that hasn't happened yet, or reviewing a life that's already over. When exactly do you plan on actually living? But how? The thoughts just appear. I can't just hit a stop button. Why are you fighting them? Imagine your thoughts are a radio playing in the next room. It's loud, it's annoying. You run in there, try to smash it, scream at it. Does it get quieter? No, I just get more worked up. Right, the secret isn't turning the radio off. The secret is to stop singing along. You don't own the radio, it just plays. How do I stop singing along? When a thought about your boss pops up, you say, oh, that song again. The Monday blues, classic. And then you come back to what you're actually doing. What are you doing right now? I'm talking to you. Liar. You're thinking about whether my advice will work. You're in the future again. Look at your boots. What color are they? Brown and dusty. Do you feel the weight of your feet on the ground? Do you smell the pine trees? I do. That's reality. Everything else is a cartoon in your head. You can either watch cartoons or you can live. Your choice. But the problems, they won't just go away. Problems are solved by action at the right time. The blender is just an imitation of action. You think that if you suffer over a problem in advance, it'll be easier when it arrives. It won't. You'll just be more tired when it's time to actually deal with it. Mark left the old man's house without a magic recipe for happiness. In his head, fragments of thoughts were still spinning. I need to check the bus schedule. I wonder if the cat is okay. But now he saw them from a distance. It was just the radio. He wasn't the thought anymore. He was the man walking through the woods. He stopped, picked up a leaf, and felt its texture between his fingers. It was real. For the first time in a long time, the tightness in his chest was gone. Back home, the same boss, the same bills and the same cat were waiting for him. No, now Mark knew. If he's drinking tea, he's drinking tea. If he's solving a problem, he's solving a problem. And that turned out to be the greatest relief of his life.